Well, hello everybody. I wanted to make a video on how to make use of credential assistance through ArmyIgnited. I know there's some resources out there. There's some guides that are 91 pages long, but I wanted to save you some of that trouble, and hopefully with this video, make it a little easier for you to make use of it and participate in it. All right. So without further ado, you can access the credential assistance through the ArmyIgnited. That is the new link now. It's no longer the Go Army yet. So it's armyignited.com, and that will take you to this page where you can log in with your credentials. I have already done that, and this is how my page looks like. So you will find some tabs over here. You will find educational path, credential path, which is the one we'll be looking at today, program path, and education center. So the educational path, that's for your actual degree, like associate's, bachelor's, master's. And then this is the path again that we'll be talking about today. Right, so we'll hit on credentials, and this is some of the examples of the credentials that you can add. So let me see if I can back up. All right, so what is credential assistance? Right? If you've heard of tuition assistance before, where the Army would fund, will have a fund. It used to be $4,500 before per fiscal year that you can use to pay for your college degree, right? And it's renewed every year. As you can see here, we're on the new fiscal year, and I have utilized $750 of tuition assistance for college and $258 for credential assistance. Again, today we'll be focusing on credential assistance. So that's the difference between the two. They both share the same pot of money, in this case $4,000. So if you use the $4,000 within a year, then you have to wait till the following year to actually have, or the following fiscal year, which is in October, to have more money back in your account. This is not money that goes into your pocket, of course. This is strictly for educational purposes. All right, so how do you select credentials? So there are a few resources out that you can use to do that. The first one being, if you're in the Army, you can utilize the Army, the cool website. This is where you will find all the information as far as what credential assistance is, some of the cost and funding, the do's and don'ts, and what is the requirements for it. Right, so the Army Cool website looks like this. On the very top, you will find some buttons for enlisted MOSs, warrant officers, and some ASIs. So we'll focus today on a signal MOS, since I'm more familiar with those credentials. So we'll select this one right here, and this will tell you some of the MOSs that feed into this MOS. You go up here where it says related credentials, you click on that, and lo and behold, you'll find a bunch of credentials. There are 36 pages worth of credentials, and you can search through here until you're content with what you're looking at. So you can see some of them will give you promotion points. It will give you an estimation of the attainability. It said high attainability, and you see how it goes down as you see the CASP plus. That is low attainability. It's a little harder certification. Promotion points, a skill level, meaning E1 through E4, E5s, E6s, 7s, and beyond from there. Some of this is what is covered for the GI Bill. Remember, we will be using credential assistance, not GI Bill, so that's not necessarily you can utilize it, but it's not the point of this video. All right, so let's look at this Network Plus right here. So this will tell you some information about the exam, the requirements for the exam, and some more facts about the actual exam. It will tell you that it's good for 3 years. It's used for continuous education, and there is a fee associated with this certification for recertifying. All right, so going back into the Army education, this is where you will add credentials. Let's look for that very same credential, right? So that we'll look for that very same credential on the MOS. We'll select that. Next, we're still looking for the same MOS. We're looking for a new credential, and then we will look for CompTIA Network Plus. This is where you would add it. Hit next, and you can hit through all this stuff. It's just some SOUs and making sure that you understand certain things. The process. Would you like to discuss credentials with a counselor? So obviously you have no idea what the credential is. You probably want to do this kind of stuff. Do you want to add any notes to the actual request? I don't need to do that. So continue as being continued. All right, we'll go into the next one. Select that. And this is where things get a little complicated for some people, right? So credential assistance will cover the cost of either in-person in classroom training or exam, also online training or online exams, right? So this is what this has to do with that. Some courses, some of the training that you can use this credential assistance for will cover both of them. It will cover the actual course, and at the end of the course, there is a fee associated with the exam, and you can do both of those within here, right? By selecting these two, whether it's in person or online, you can select this, right? So the way I went around to find my vendor approved from this list, there's many vendors, as you can see here. There's many vendors, and I have no preference. I literally just picked one at random, and I went with that. So in my case, I selected this Gov store, which I found on the list for the ArmyIgnited, and up here I selected COMPTIA. And then I looked for the actual voucher, so exam voucher, Mentos Network Plus, right here. So and this is where you will find the actual estimate for that exam. So for me, it came out to be $258, right? So this is, once you add it, this is how it would look like. Requesting credentials, select the MOS credentials that you're looking for, and I am looking for exam. All right, so once you go into the list, I actually found the vendor that I use, which it was Pearson VUE, and the information, that link that I showed you earlier, this is where I got the link from, and will take you to that website. So I selected this vendor, select, next, and see the cost was different here than it was on my actual voucher, right? This is going to ask you for some information about the vendor and when you want to take the examination or the training or whatever you're trying to do. Key thing here is that you have to do this 30 days before you actually need it. So if you're studying to take this certification, you probably want to give yourself some buffer time, right, for those 30 days, because it will take 30 days to get the actual voucher number for you to then reserve the seat for the examination. So in this case, we're in March, and says the earliest that I can take it, it's the 19th of April. So that is actually 30 days from now. It will not allow you to pick a date between those 30 days. All right, so you select the from and to. The end date is important because you're supposed to submit proof that you passed that examination or that course within 10 days after the end date. So that's where you got to keep that part in mind. So the cost of the exam is $250, and this is where you have to add the request and the cost estimate. This is what my estimate looked like. This is exactly what I submitted to the ArmyIgnited. It's just a simple, this is the cost of the examination, and I was able to do that by submitting it right here. Once I did that, I went ahead and submit a request. Right, once the request was submitted, it looks something like this. Actual file, whatever files you need to upgrade. Once you're submitted and approved, there will be another option here for you to submit the document, and you will get reminder emails to get the actual document proving that you pass. And as you can already imagine, what happens if you submit the examination or you take the examination and fail, then you of course have to pay the cost of that examination. Right? So you want to be prepared to do something like that. I wanted to show you something. For instance, there are some free resources out there that you don't necessarily have to pay this amount of money for, right? So even though the purpose of the video was to give you an example, give you an idea of how to use Credential Assistance, I wanted to make sure that you understand there are free resources out there for you to prepare for some examinations that are the same as paid resources for military members. In this instance, if you look at the CCNA course, there is a great course by Kevin Wallace that is also, I think it's produced by Pearson VUE. It's the same online testing people. This same course you can find in a place called Oreilly Books. Right, this is what Oreilly Books looks like, and this is the URL for Oreilly Books, learning.oreilly.com. And if you just Google Oreilly Books for military, then we would present you with a registration page where you put your information and your work email, and you can link your account like that, and you get a free account to this amazing service, right? So in this case, I simply went up here and I did, let me copy the Kevin Wallace information. So CCNA. Okay, behave. Right, we do that. Copy that very same course right here. And lo and behold, you have the very same course right here for free, right? And if you look down over here, it says that it has the video course and also has a practice test. So guess what? If you look in here, it will give you the video course, and it will also give you the practice exams. And this is completely free. I didn't have to pay anything for this. It's free for military members. It's a great resource for a lot of IT material, whether it be programming, networking, system administration. You can find a lot of that here, right? So hopefully that gives you a little bit better idea. I wanted to show you also that inside of these resources, right, there is a Army Decision Support Tool. It's supposed to help you kind of identify what certifications do you want to pursue and what type of field interests you. That's what that tool is really used for. I've been around IT for a little bit, so this wasn't necessary for me. But if you feel like you need more information about it, feel free to use this decision support tool. All right. It's great information to always go back into the Army Pool and see what's available out there for you for all the different MOSs, not just a Signal MOSs. It may be, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with your MOS. You could be a mechanic, but you're interested in electricity and becoming an electrician. By all means, there are also all sorts of credentials out there for that. All right. So hopefully this gives you a better idea on how to use your resources, how to use Credential Assistance, and tap into that money. It's free money that if you don't use, you're sort of throwing away down the drain, right? And remember, education is something that nobody can take away from you. All right, if you got any questions, just please go ahead and try to reach out. Just put something in the comments, and I'm pretty good about getting back to those. All right, so thank you for your time. Thank you for watching the video. Have a good day.